Hello, it's again Vitali, and today it's time for another exotic scale in a series of videos that I'm doing. And today we'll talk about scale that's called Japanese, or for myself I call this just a Phrygian pentatonic. I hope you know what Phrygian scale is. It's just a minor scale with a flat 2, or the entire formula of a Phrygian scale, a Phrygian mode, will be 1 flat 2 flat 3 4 5 flat 6 flat 7. Now, to make that pentatonic, what we need to do, we need to remove a flat 3rd degree and a flat 7th degree from the Phrygian scale. So itself, the scale, our Japanese scale or Phrygian pentatonic scale will look like that. So it's a 1, flat 2, 4, 5, and a flat 6. Of course, we go further and play again 1, flat 2, 4, 5, flat 6. And then we repeat on the string number 1 whatever we play on the string number 6. It's a 1, flat 2. So the scale itself look like that. Kind of pretty cool and a very interesting sound scale. It is minor, but there will be one more application for that particular scale. Let's talk about this, how it's used over just a regular minor chord or Phrygian chord progression first. Well, to demonstrate how that scale works over just a Phrygian mode or a minor chord progression, what I would do, I would create a little chord progression in the Phrygian mode. Of course, it will be based on the C minor chord itself, but let's say I can add some other chords from a C Phrygian to make it happen. So I'd probably add just a B flat minor and one more. Okay, I would add E flat dominant. So we have 3 chords chord progression. We've got C minor, B flat minor, E flat dominant. And the chord progression probably will look like that. Pretty cool. It's pretty hip, very fusiony chord progression. So I would play scale right now as a quarter note so you can hear how all those notes are sound over that particular mode over Phrygian scale over a minor tonality. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and go. It's pretty cool, right? It's a very interesting, very kind of like a spicy scale, I would say. So also what we can do, we can use this scale in a little bit different way. Not as a minor scale, we can use this as a dominant scale, believe it or not. So let's talk about that. Well, believe it or not, but that scale don't have a 3rd degree. Of course you know that. Means in that scale it might be theoretically, or I don't know, potentially it might be a 3rd degree major. So even if we know that it is Phrygian, let's imagine that in that scale we'll insert a major 3rd. So what is going to be? It's going to be a scale that's very common, very known, and it's called as a Phrygian dominant scale or a Spanish scale. That scale is nothing else as a Phrygian mode with just a major 3rd degree, or it's called also ultra dominant scale with a flat 13 and flat 9. So let's say we've got a root in our scale. That's very simple. But now our flat 2nd degree, let's treat not as a flat 2nd, let's treat as a tension, ultra tension over ultra dominant chord, so it will be a flat 9. We've got 4, which is equal to regular 11, we've got 5, and we've got flat 6, which is we can call as flat 13 or even sharp 5 if we want some time. So pretty much our options right now, we can play a dominant chord with flat 9 or sharp 5 or flat 13, it's the same thing, or even a combination of a sharp 5 with a flat 9. Very common chord in the jazz and the bossa nova music. So yeah, I immediately hear just a bossa nova rhythm with it. So let's try to make some kind of chord progression. And I may even use both of them in a chord progression. I may use a sharp 5 chord and add a flat 9, so, and resolve in F minor. That's pretty cool, right? And let's hear how that scale will work over altered dominant chord and resolve in some other minor key. So let's try to do that. And again, I will play this as a quarter notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Very nice lyrical scale if you use this as a dominant scale, right? So we can use the same scale because it's pentatonic and we don't have certain degrees, so it's not very restricted. We can use this as a minor scale over a Phrygian chord progression or a minor chord itself, or we can use this as a Phrygian dominant or Spanish scale. So let me show the lick that I've created using that scale in that particular form. And I would play that lick later on with that chord progression, 2 chord progressions I've created, with a Phrygian chord progression and with that chord progression over C altered dominant chord that resolves into a F minor. So the lick I've created, it's played not only over just the one chord, it's played over chord progressions. So I decide to make little breaks, make a rest, to kind of create a really like a 3 licks line. And let's talk about part by part of that long lick so you see how it works. First, I use again my favorite major third intervals with the pull off. So I pull off from 4th degree to a flat 2 and from root to a flat 6. Then I finish that with a pedal tone idea. So, like that. Kind of simple, right? Then what I've done, I play a C half diminished arpeggio, or if you play this over altered dominant chord, you may consider that as a dominant chord with a flat 9 degree arpeggio, dominant 11 chord with a flat 9 degrees. So it just looks like that. So together. Not that complicated. And of course I end my lick with my favorite hybrid picking, so I've played just the 2 arpeggios, triads. And I end up with a slide to a 5th degree. So together. Just like that. So it is pretty cool lick, again, because we've got those rests, it just makes it sound more interesting. It's not that static, you know. So kind of cool. So let me demonstrate how that lick will work over a Phrygian chord progression that we've created before as a C minor, as a C Phrygian, and also how it works as an altered dominant chord or altered dominant lick that plays over C altered dominant that resolved into a F minor.